Hello and welcome to my little world. So this week I've been working on the exterior of my castle and I've gotten a lot done on it. I'm very pleased with it and I'm thinking about even bigger things to do with it. But for now I have the covering for the little bookshelf area that's next to my fireplace, and I'll take you along on the journey of how I constructed it. So shout out to my grandchildren in Japan, Yumika and Tora-chan, and welcome to everyone who's here this week. And let's see what I've been doing. Here's my new sweater for this week. I crocheted this last week with the ends of some yarn that I had that I wanted to use up. I used up all of it and barely had any left, so it ended up with short sleeves, but I really like it. I love it. And this is the back, and I'm so pleased with it. Here are about 8 egg cartons that I have been saving up to use for this project. And I have started tearing them up into little pieces, and you will see that the pieces kind of end up being certain shapes because of the way the egg cartons already are. So here they are, all torn up, and as you can see, I used some of the shapes that were in the egg cartons to tear them in a natural way and kept some pieces that were connected so that I could use them as design elements on my castle and theater. So I started making some drawings to figure out how I'm going to do the buildings with the egg carton stone on them. And I started with this one, which is going to be the theater. And the top part of it is the box, and the bottom part of it is the table it's sitting on. But as you can see, I didn't get very far with it. So in the room, the box is over here. It's facing the wall right now, and you can see the table that's underneath it, and I'm planning on making that part of the building. But I haven't figured out what I want to do for the windows and openings on that. So I ended up getting more inspiration for the castle, which is over on the other side of the room in this corner. And I've had this bookshelf that I've been using as my castle. It has some rooms in it, and I'm wanting to make a facade for that as well. So the ideas for that started coming to me more specifically than the theater. So I started drawing a design for the castle. And I have 2 boxes that I'm planning on using to make the front of the castle. I have 2 of these boxes. They were what my black and white screens came in. I just wanted to show you that I've put this beautiful shower curtain up on my wall over here. I took the Fantasy Village curtain down that was in front of the fireplace because now I'm starting to use it as the weather's getting cold. And so I've put that away for now, and I put this up on the wall, and then I noticed that it made a really nice backdrop for the little teddy bears and dolls that were standing in front of the Fantasy Village. So for now, they're in front of this scene, and in front of them is I have this this buffet that's nice and long, and so I'm using it to work on my castle box right now. So this is the other box, and I taped them shut. And as you can see, I'm working on using the egg carton bricks. So I'm starting to piece them together like a puzzle, which is fun. I found some little kind of stained glass looking pictures that I'm going to use for windows. As you can see, I'm using the bottoms of the egg cartons as kind of decorative designs. And this one is, I didn't break these apart. This one's just all still connected the way it was in the middle of the egg carton, and then these other pieces on the top. And then I used these pieces of foam board. They were actually packing that Dot had put in the box that she sent me chatelaine in, which you saw last week. And they came in very handy to use as the tops of these towers. And then I've been sort of sorting the egg carton pieces, and I made some of them into these long bricks. And so I'm going to use those designs as well as the puzzle piece kind of designs. Here's another section that was in the egg cartons. And then I'm using, this is some foam packing material that I had. There's another stained glass window. And I thought this foam would work because it's nice and flexible, and I'm wanting to make a curved out top part on the castle. And then I will need to make a roof part for that as well. But so that's kind of the progress that's happening here. I need to arrange the egg carton pieces and then glue them down and then go from there. Besides the pieces that are sitting on the box, I have this whole container of more pieces, and I think it's probably going to be enough for both the castle and the theater. So here is progress on this section, and I've gotten all these puzzle pieces glued down on this tower and glued down the decorative pieces across the top, the stained glass window, and also the brick-shaped pieces up above this one. And I've been using Gorilla Wood glue to glue the pieces down because I ran out of tacky glue. I stood the boxes up in the space so that I could match up the sides to each other because they don't match exactly, or at least they might not match exactly if they were just lying down, because the way they stand up, they're not precisely square, and so I wanted to stand them up the way they were going to appear so that I could then match up the lines on the left one to the right one. And I'm gluing some things on the lines. I glued on the lines with the washi tape, and then I'll glue on some of these long bricks on the left side right next to the right so that I have a guide that makes everything line up. And then I'll repeat on the left side what I have done on the right. Here's where I did that. I added pieces on the left to continue the lines on the right, and then I can lay the box down, and this will be enough of a guide so that I know how to arrange the things on the left side. I'm also working on the foam pieces, drawing I've just been using a pencil. It's not that easy to push into the foam, but hopefully it's working well enough. Well, I'm listening to the Vienna Boys Choir sing Christmas songs this morning and working on the door for my castle. So I got this wood look scrapbooking paper, and I used tape to attach two pieces together because it's 12-inch square. And then I'm just using this this black art tape that's 1/8 inch that I like to use, and I'm making this grid on it. So I cut it to be an arch at the top, and I'm very pleased with how it's looking. Here's my progress so far. I've mirrored the right side and the left sides and just stuck the door on, and I still need to do the little part above the door, but it's coming along very nicely, and I'll be working on the top towers today. Here's one of the towers attached to the side with the black duct tape, and I just curved it over, and then I cut this piece of foam board on the bottom, and I cut it to fit very snugly inside the foam, and then just glued it with this new fast grab tacky glue that I just bought. And so I think it makes a nice bottom to it. I'm making the roof for the towers out of poster board that's 22 by 28 inches. And I bought black so that I don't have to do as much to it. I cut a corner off like this, and then I just rolled it inside itself and taped it shut. And then folded up some little pieces on the side that are going to attach to the tops of the box, like that. I was worried about having enough paint for the whole project because I was mixing it up, so it might be a little bit hard to duplicate. So I mixed pretty much all the white and all the black I had, and also threw in most of the almandine I had, and I ended up with this color, which I like very much. It's pretty much what I had in mind. I wanted it to be, to start out at least with a gray base. And you can see all the different shapes of the stones in different areas. And the paint went on really well on the foam, which I wasn't sure it would. And then I would just take the end of the brush and put it inside run it inside the divisions that I made with the pencil on the foam, and it worked out really well. So I'm happy about that. I had some spackle I had bought for another project and never used, so I got that out, and I have covered this tower with it, and I like the texture on it, which I will highlight. And then I'm also using the spackle to do the grout lines on the stone, and I'm just wiping it on with the scraper, and then using a wet rag to wipe off the rocks and get it into all the crevices. So here it is. It was a lot of work, but I think it's finally finished. So there were a lot of details at the end to do. You can see I cut off the roofs and made them shorter because they looked a little too tall. I used some gray paint, the dark gray paint, to make some shading and to go along the edges of the towers to delineate them. I added some foam cubes that I had up at the top and painted them. And I did something that may turn out to be not such a good idea, but when I put them up today, I put some spackling right down the middle to join the two sides. And when it's time to take it down and get into what's behind it, I may regret that, but I just wanted to make it fit together, make the sides fit together a little better. So I may need to break it apart in the future, but that will be a problem for future sienna flower. There's a link to a video about the interior rooms in the castle in the description. Also, the door is, I did not cut the door in half, so it's taped up like this, but when I take the two sides down, I will have to figure that out as well. But I'm very happy with it, and it's just in time for Christmas decorating. It turned out wider than I expected when the spackling dried, but I was thinking that it actually looks perfect for Christmas because it looks like it has snow on it. So in the future, I could darken the colors if I wanted to, but it's pretty cool like this. I'm tired of working on it, so this is it for now. And I will see you next week with more Christmas goodness. Bye-bye.